So this week, I was listening to one of my favorite rock artists of all time. I was listening to Meatloaf. And you say, oh, Rev Lee, Meatloaf. I said, yeah, Meatloaf. I remember when I first heard him in 1974, I fell in love with him then, and I'm just as much in love with him now. He's one of my top favorite 5 of all time. And there's a song that's not popular. It's a song very few people have ever heard. And it was interesting. I posted the song on Facebook. And I said, listen to this song. Do you know I got one response from that post? I was like, wow, what has Meatloaf done that people are so turned off? I'm just kidding. But the song is a song called, A Kiss is a Terrible Thing to Waste. And in it, there's a lyric in that song that it's all about loneliness. And it's loneliness because of a belief. And the belief is, what if you get to the end of your life and you say, it could have been me? Yes, it could have been me. And that's why today I decided to talk about how do we move beyond limitation? How do we expand beyond what our current experience is? How do we come into the place where we're at the end of our life or in the middle of our life and we're never in a state of regret or remorse thinking, that could have been me? Because that is probably, to me, the worst thing in the world. It means we see that the opportunity was there, but we didn't do anything with it. Do you remember as a kid when you were really naive? And I'm going back to when I was really naive and you were dating. And the person you were dating was very interested, but you were really shy and you didn't have all the confidence in the world, and you got to the end of the date and you really wanted to give this young lady, or in your case if you're a girl or whatever, a man a kiss goodnight. But you didn't make the move because you were scared. What were you afraid of? We were afraid of being rejected. We were afraid that someone would think we were not enough. And in reality, their rejection or their acceptance was nothing. It means nothing in the scheme of life, except what did you feel you were worthy of? When you deny yourself, you're saying to the universe, I'm not good enough. And this happens not only in dating, this happens in our career, this happens in how we build our wealth, this happens in how we take care of our body, building our body physique, the exercise we do, the sports we play in, the computer games we may be playing. And we go back and we say, I could have done that, I could have done that. And the whole time that mantra keeps going in our head, it could have been me. You see, I want to change that so that you never have to go through that again. I'm working on changing that right now with me. I'm reading a book right now called Deep Work. And in this book, it talks about how we have forgotten how to concentrate and put an extended amount of effort into something. And we've allowed distraction, answering emails immediately, answering text messages immediately, doing social media so that we don't have time. We're literally being controlled by minute, insignificant things that are stopping us from growing deep. Here's the other thing. It's also stopping us from effectively using the creative process. You see, our creative power operates in response to our beliefs. But in order to build the belief, we've got to go deep. We've got to put a focus on it. We've got to get really clear. What is that belief? What do I mean by that belief? What will that belief generate? How can I think about this in a deeper way? How can I embody these ideas? How can I speak these ideas? How can I have feeling behind these ideas? And then how can I take massive amounts of actions with these ideas in mind, which in turn tells the universe, I have a belief, and the universe says yes. Here is the demonstration of that belief. But if we don't take the time to do it, We can't. And so what happens? We go from one modality to another. We go from Facebook to Instagram to YouTube to text messaging to phone calls to emails. We go to reading the news. We go to, oh my God, we do all this nonsense. And how does this take us deeper into an understanding of our life, our power, our ability to use that power, and then our ability to take significant conscious actions to have that power demonstrate in our life? You see, our job is to build beliefs that serve us. That's right, serve us. So how does a belief serve you? Well, you got to figure out who you are. You got to know who you are. You got to know what juices you, what turns you on. And when you've got that, then you find out what is really, really, really important to you. And you know what? Most of the teachers in this planet that I have studied never really talk to us about how do I find out what is my most important things. I learned that trait from Dr. John Demartini. And I learned that when I figured out what are my top 5 values, the things I value most in life. Once I got those, from there my purpose came. And once I got my purpose, now every decision I make is in alignment with that purpose. So when I'm reading this book, Deep Work, I'm going, whoa, there are tools here that will allow me to enhance all 5 of the top areas of my life. So I'm saying, oh my gosh, now this is something I've got to work on. So when I go home today, because I'm in the process, I'm 3/4 of the way through the book. When I go home today, I'm going to finish the book, and then I'm going to outline, okay, so what changes do I want to make? How do I want to fit things into my life? Understanding that I need quality, deep time on the things that are most important to me. That's one of the things I loved. When I did a workshop with John at the beginning of December, learned how to be a values facilitator. So I can teach people, I can draw out of people what are their top 5 values so that they can get the clarity. I realized I didn't do that just to be a teacher. I did that for me as well. You see, if you're going to teach something, you're going to teach what's of value to you. And you can tell what's of value to someone. Listen to what they teach about. And everyone's a teacher in their own way. You see, in order to expand, in order to grow, in order to have a fulfilled life, in order to have a life where we don't regret, we must learn to think outside the box in order to become free. Most of us don't realize it, but right now, in our mind, because of our thought patterns, we have prisoned ourselves in. We have set up limitations that we will not cross. Whether it's for religious reasons, family reasons, political reasons, business reasons, we won't do that. Someone said, I can't tell the truth about whether or not I like an In-N-Out burger over let me think, what's the name? In-N-Out burger versus the Texas burger, the Whataburger, right? And the reason they couldn't tell, even though they liked the In-N-Out burger, because they said that the quality of the meat was better than that in the competitor. They couldn't do that because then their Texas friends would think they were a traitor. I sit back and I say, let me understand. Something as simple as saying this meat is better than this meat? And you're afraid to speak what you truly believe? Let me ask this question. How much of a box are we living in? And let me say, if you're justifying that answer, you're really living in a box because now you're defending yourself. You see, one of the things we've got to learn is that in order to not be in a box and to be free, we've got to stop defending ourselves and ask questions and go beyond what we believe right now. That's the key thing. Every day we should be asking new questions to go beyond what we believe because we want to expand that belief. You see, our limitations are the result of being domesticated into not thinking big. Being domesticated, I'll hurt people's feelings if I choose this. I'll hurt people's feelings if I don't go along with the thing. Let me share something with you. You are not brought here to go along. You were brought here to be unique creators and have a life different than anyone who's ever been on. So we've got to give up this idea, this complete idea of being a people pleaser. Stop. It's that simple. Watch the Newhart show on YouTube, where he's a psychologist and he come in $5 for 5 minutes. When he's done, he says, well, what do I do? He says, stop it. It's that simple. Stop doing what is not allowing you to expand, and don't defend it. Don't want to be right. Here's what I know about life. Life wants to always express more of itself. Did you hear that? Life always wants to express more of itself. Here's the other thing I want you to know. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So life is the macrocosm, your life is the microcosm, and therefore your job, your innate nature, is to express more. You see, one of the things that children have over us adults is the fact is they got imagination. And imagination is the key to expansion, because if we can imagine it, then we can build a belief which creates our desired experience. But in order to imagine it, it's creating a slide. It's creating a picture, and in that picture, our imagination puts in all the colors, all the shapes, all the people, all the details, all the feelings. It puts everything in, and when that slide gets crystal clear and we embody that slide, we believe that slide, our thoughts are about that slide, our words are about that slide, our actions are about that slide, our feelings come from looking at that slide. We built a belief, and that belief in that moment demonstrates. It's law. Our beliefs create. The master teacher, Jesus, said it so clearly. He said, it is done unto you as you believe. He didn't say you had to believe a certain way. He says, whatever happens, it's done unto you as you believe. In other words, that law that creates does not judge. It gives you your belief. There's no right or wrong. It gives you your belief. You see, limitation is not the result of is the result of not using our creative power for a desired purpose. When we don't, we step into the role of the victim. And when we step into the role of the victim, we begin to die. You go, whoa, Lee, that's pretty deep. That's pretty serious, dying. Well, think about it. If you're not growing, you're dying. It may be a slow, long death where it's very, very gradual, but if you're not moving into more life, you are moving quicker into death. One of the things I love about the teachings of Abraham, that she talks about how to live, and I've adopted this for myself, because I'm going to live, I've got to set an intention 124 plus years. And here's my intention of how I'm going to live. Happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, dead. I'm just going to die. One moment, gone. It doesn't have to be agonizing. It means I make a decision I'm leaving my body. Ernest Holmes said it this way. He said, when the body is no longer serving the soul for its future expansion, the soul releases the body so it can move on. When you can understand that, you truly do get that it's all about growing. It's all about creating more. That's the deep work. That's the deep work spiritually. That's the deep work mentally. That's the deep work physically. That's the deep work in relationships. That's the deep work with respect to money. That's the deep work with respect to career. The secret is we have to create the image, build the belief, act as if, and when we do, all regret and limitation disappear. Here's the number one payoff. Here's the benefit of all that. We come alive. Isn't that what we desire more than anything? Is to feel the fullness and the allness of life in us in this moment. So I invite you this week to create the image, to build the belief, to act as if, to feel as if it is done now, and feel life moving as you.